I think it's time for every Golden State Warriors fan to address one of the biggest elephants in the room this offseason, and we're talking about Jimmy Butler here. Because just a few days ago, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, the Golden State Warriors assured Jimmy Butler he is not going to get traded. Let that sink in for a second. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. Not because Jimmy Butler isn't a great player, he absolutely is, but because he is expected to miss at least the first half of the season while recovering from a torn ACL. And here's the thing, Steph Curry is 38 years old. The Golden State Warriors are in a win now mode. And despite all of that, they have already decided one of their biggest trade assets is completely untouchable. And I think this decision could end up costing Golden State another championship. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Yo, what's up guys, Jason here, back with another video. If it's your first time watching, I cover the Golden State Warriors every single day on YouTube, along with other NBA news, trades, and rumors on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. So if you're a basketball fan, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because you do not want to miss any of my future upload. Now, before anybody misunderstands what I'm saying here, this isn't Jimmy Butler's fault. He didn't ask to tear his ACL, and before the injury, he was exactly what the Warriors hoped he would be. This past season, Jimmy Butler was averaging 20 points, 5.5 rebounds, almost 5 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, while shooting almost 38% from 3. Golden State was simply a much better basketball team whenever Jimmy Butler was on the floor. There's no doubting that. The problem isn't Jimmy Butler. The problem is timing. He is 36 years old. He is recovering from one of the most difficult injuries in basketball. Every report suggests he will miss at least the first half of the season, with the Warriors understandably expected to be cautious and target a return around February. That's the issue here. Steph Curry doesn't have 6 more years. He doesn't even have 3 or 4 guaranteed years left. Every single season matters. Every opportunity matters. Championship windows don't stop because one of your stars gets injured. You have to adjust, and I don't think the Warriors are adjusting. Now, here is where I think Golden State has backed itself into a corner. Everyone knows Golden State is trying to get LeBron James. We've also heard Anthony Davis rumors to Golden State in trade discussions. Clearly, the front office knows this roster still needs another star player, but almost every blockbuster trade starts with matching salaries. Jimmy Butler's $56.8 million contract, which is expiring, is by far the easiest way to make that happen. If you package draft picks and Jimmy Butler for another star player, you're essentially swapping one max contract for another. That's clean, that's manageable. But if Jimmy Butler is untouchable, now what? Now you have to package multiple players just to match one star player's salary. Instead of moving one player, you might have to move 2 or 3. And that's where I think this becomes a huge problem. Because Jimmy Butler is already going to miss at least the first half of the season, and Moses Moody is also going to miss a lot of time given his injury. Now imagine trading away multiple healthy players to bring in one more star player. And of course, now you have upgraded your top-end talent, but you've also now sacrificed your depth. So instead of starting the year with one injured star player, you will be starting the year with one injured star player and several healthy key contributors playing somewhere else. For a team that already struggled with depth last season, that feels incredibly risky. Now, here is another reason why this situation is so fascinating. Jimmy Butler's trade value has likely never been this low. Think about this using very basic economics. Every market depends on supply and demand. Right now, the Golden State Warriors do not want to trade Jimmy Butler, so the supply is basically zero. But here's the bigger issue. Who actually wants Jimmy Butler right now? He is 36 years old, he is making nearly $57 million this upcoming season, he is recovering from a torn ACL, and he likely wouldn't play until February. There simply isn't much demand. In fact, some reports have suggested Golden State will likely have to include future first-round picks just to convince other teams to absorb his contract. Think about how quickly things have changed. Just over a year ago, Jimmy Butler looked so promising with the Golden State Warriors. And if it wasn't for that Steph Curry's injury, they could have beat Minnesota and go all the way to the Western Conference Finals. But today, Jimmy Butler's age, injury, and contract have made him one of the most difficult players in the league to move. And because the Warriors have already told him they are not trading him, they have essentially frozen one of the biggest contracts on their roster. Now, to be fully transparent, I understand why the Warriors want to keep Jimmy Butler. Before the injury, he transformed the entire team. He wants to finish his career in Golden State. The organization clearly values what he brings both on and off the court. I respect that. But championships are not won because you're loyal. They are won because you maximize every opportunity. Steph Curry is entering another year where the clock is ticking. The Golden State Warriors needs to do whatever it takes to make this team competitive. Instead, they've decided ahead of time that Jimmy Butler isn't available. That means any blockbuster deal becomes a lot more complicated. It likely will cost more draft picks and more key role players. And most importantly, it forces Golden State to rely even more heavily on Steph Curry during the first half of the season while Butler continues rehabbing. Maybe Jimmy Butler returns in February looking like the same player. Maybe he helps the Warriors make a crazy playoff run. I hope that's what happens. But if your goal is maximizing Steph Curry's championship window, I do not think anybody on this roster should be untouchable, especially someone expected to miss half the season. In summary, the Golden State Warriors are making a massive bet that Jimmy Butler returns healthy, returns to form, and is enough to push them back into title contention. If they're right, everybody will praise their patience. But if they are wrong, this decision may go down as the move that cost Steph Curry one last legitimate chance to compete for a championship. But again, that's just my opinion and I want to hear your thoughts. If you were the Warriors front office, would you trade Jimmy Butler? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Alright guys, that's all we got for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media, all linked below in the description box. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.